Hi everyone, BanryuTV here. Today I'll update my unit meta tier list for the upcoming year 2025 in Conquerorsblade. So with the new season upcoming, I will teach you which units are the best currently and which doctrine and veterancies to use for most of them. So let's get started. Queen's Knights are still the best sword infantry simply because they can survive against cavalry a little bit by pressing the one spell. How you use them is simply engage with one as soon as you take damage, or two against shields, and you can press one and move them away, then press one again, etc., or just have them fight. Next we've got Simakian Paladins, which is the strongest infantry after Queen's Knights because of the mastery it received. So you can charge them with one, and as soon as they reach the target, press 2 and cancel the animation with V. Basically just tanky guys who do lots of damage. Perfect. Next we've got Siladars, which are still a powerful unit, but they rely on cooldowns. That's why I rank Paladins higher. But Siladars do the job, but they're weak against cavalry. Next we got Iron Reapers, but you need a combat doctrine for them. Basically, the free unit that you get can work if you have the combat doctrine. Next we've got the Wu Wei, still strong, especially, but you need the combat doctrine and the toughness doctrine for them to be viable. Toughness doctrine not that important, but combat doctrine definitely. So yeah, under the same story, if you have a combat doctrine, they're okay, but nothing amazing because they lack range, so they cannot fight cavalry due to their low range. So they need a buff to be more meta. I still got Men at Arms, the free variant, like Iron Reapers. If you have nothing else, you can use them. Still does the job, even after the nerf. And finally, Melones, if you wanna just charge in and do some AoE damage, then tank, they're okay. Next, these are the anti-infantry sword units that you use to kill pikes mostly, and fight on the walls. Next we've got anti-cavalry units. You got the phalanx, which is still the king. You can cancel the one animation by pressing V as well. And you can also X them and V if you want to kill some pesky heroes who dive. Or you can press 1 to brace, then V, then 2, in order to do lots of AoE damage. Basically just make sure you cancel the animation. Any animation that is instant is cancelled by simply pressing V. And don't forget to press CC, double tap it, so if you're far away from the unit, it will follow you much faster. So it does the job, and nowadays you can even tank 360 degrees cavalry and just press V and they will turn around and kill the cavalry that charges at them from behind. Next I've got Modals. Nobody plays them anymore because Phalanx does a much better job, but you can still use them. 360 degrees brace, just less range and damage than Phalanx. Also useless against infantry. Whereas Phalanx still can kill some infantry due to their long range. Next we've got Imperial Pie Guards. It's not a solo unit. If you have a teammate you can use them. It will be useful because it CCs the enemy. You need the charge doctrine for them to be viable. You simply charge into the enemy and press 2 to advance, and before the advance animation ends you press 3 to do an AoE attack. Basically a good opening for knocking down enemy units, except those that are CC immune, but most units aren't CC immune, so it's fine. If you have teammates that follow, it can win you a push. Next we've got Orochi Samurai. It's not a popular pick because you need to get kills in order to reset their one spell. But for example, if you have a teammate who is Imperial Pike advancing and Orochi Samurai, you spam 1 and you will get some kills or they knock down, so it still does the job. Just not really a solo unit, you need teammates to make them work. So it's ranked below. Next we've got Halberd Sergeants. If you're a solo player or teammate player, it is versatile, it is useful in any situation. You just simply press F2 and brace and it will kill most of the stuff 360 degrees. And if you get caught, you just move them around in F1 and press 1. That way, even if you get caught, it's okay. They can still get some kills. Basically move around with F1 formation, and once you're stationary, press F2 and brace them. Or if the enemy is like throwing bombs or some stuff, you can press F1 so they dissipate and take less damage. It's up to you. Fighter Brescia, same thing as Habit Resurgence, but weaker. So you can brace them in F2 or F3 or F1 with the same thing. If it's stationary, F3 or 2, and if you're moving, F1. It's off meta because they are better. Basically, Phalanx is much better. It has a shield and better damage and range than Fighter Brescia, so nobody uses them either. Next we got the Blue Halberdiers. If you need a filler unit, you can use it. Pretty strong, but very squishy. Same thing as Halberdier Surgeons, but with less HP. And finally you've got Camel Lancers. These guys still stop cavalry, so it's fine to use them to hold points, especially in territory wars. But they're useless against infantry, only stop in cavalry. Next we've got the shield units. You got Demesne Spearmen that you can use in F1 in F2 formation. Basically, if you stun a hero and you like stun him, you F2 and X the Demesne Spearman into the hero, then press 1 and they spread out and the hero will get stuck in your unit, which basically means he's dead if you keep hitting him. So it's still a powerful spear unit and you can gank people with it. This is something very few people know and I'm sharing this knowledge for free for you guys. So try it out and let me know what you think. Otherwise it's a basic shield unit, you F1 or F2 and block damage for your teammates. Very useful, especially nowadays with the new cannon unit. And Imperial Spear Guard, same thing, except you have 2 to make them follow you in Cover Commander. So if you're playing a tank like Polacks, it's very powerful because basically they protect you and you protect them. So if you're playing heavy armor, you can use these shields to support your team for pushing and blocking enemy ranged fire or melee damage. You can use them in F1 formation or F2 formation. Basically depends how much space you want to cover. F2 in narrow spots and F1 in large areas, open areas. Next we've got the cavalries. So Senjia is nowadays the better option. You need you can use the toughness doctrine and the combat doctrine as well as the sprint doctrine to make them very powerful. Yanyuda, same story. But Yanyuda requires more skill to use, like you need to charge your attacks and stuff. So Sanjay is a better option. To play Sanjay, you can just charge in with 1, and as soon as they touch the enemy unit, you press 2 and V. Also, if you press 1 to charge and V, it will follow the stuff nearby. Basically, you can use V to make them on autopilot to track down the enemies if you don't want to manually move them. Otherwise, you can move them because it doesn't cancel the charge nor the 2 spell, which is basically AoE attacks. So because of this ease of movement, it's a powerful unit and it does lots of damage. Yanyuda is the same thing, but yeah, you charge your attack with 1 and press 1 again once it's full. So I need to time it properly and keep spamming it once it's in a fight. Same thing, you can use 1 and X them into the enemy and 1 again. And if you're like overwhelmed, you can press V so they follow the enemy, but not as well as the Senjia does while they're charging their one spell. Next we've got the Companion Cavalry. This is the strongest G4 cavalry currently, because it kills heroes very quickly. So how you use them is you press 3 for the buff, then you press 2 for the stomping attack, then you can cancel with V the 2 animation if you want. If like you need to press 1 afterwards, then with 1 it starts slashing at the enemies. And if it's back on cooldown, you can just press 1 again and it will follow you and slash the enemies basically. Very easy to use and powerful cavalry, but you need the combat doctrine with them. And you also need combat doctrine for the 2 other cavalries, which is basically this doctrine. After 3 attacks, next attack, blah blah blah. On Yanida it's not that important, but you can still use it. Then I've got Flanked Hussars. If you have the right charge cooldown reduction and charge damage reduction doctrines, it can do something. But it's not as strong as it used to be because everybody's spamming phalanx, so if you charge into phalanx you die. So, and you can only get 1 charge, and you need to, usually they don't survive after the charge, so it's not really that good. But it still works, it's a free unit, so you can use that if you have nothing better. Dagirak, same story, free unit. It used to be very powerful. With the right charge cooldown reduction doctrines, you get a low cooldown charge with your 2 spell. Basically the 2 and 1 spell both count as charge, so if you boost up the charge damage it will work. And also there's a charge doctrine, 5% damage increase something. It is basically mandatory to use these 2 cavalries, Hussar and the other one. Next we've got Iron Cap Scouts. You can use the sprint and sprint damage increase 2 doctrines to make them fast and powerful. This cavalry is cheap and can kill high tier units if you surprise them, catching them off guard, because it does huge damage with its 2 spells. So basically you charge in with 1 spell and then press 2 and it will attack nearby stuff. But its eye is kinda dumb, so it's a hit or miss. Make sure you to press 2 as soon as they connect with the enemy, otherwise they're gonna charge at the wall or something. Finally we got Kriegsbrothers, just for PvE content. You spam 2 and they will heal up and kill them. So if you want to do rebel camps or something, you can use Kriegsbrothers or Sonja Heavy Cavalry. It works. As for PvP, you can hunt down ranged units, so if the enemy is playing lots of ranged units, just charge them with Kriegsbrothers and press 2. Easy. Finally, we got the 2 most important units in the game, Line of Fire, Line Roar Cannons and Siphonary. Line Roar Cannons, basically you press 1 and put them in when you shoot the enemy, and you need some teammates to protect you. You can shoot them from afar or from close distance. And these guys are tough to kill, so you just have to protect them against heroes diving them. And your teammates can protect you with their pikes or something. So as long as it's protected, it does huge damage, and these guys are the reason why shields are meta again. Because if you don't bring shields, they will decimate other kinds of units. So yeah, very powerful unit, and you need to have 1 or 2 on your team if you want to win. Next we got Siphonary. You need 1 in your team. And basically same thing as the cannons, but with less range. Just throw flamethrowers at the enemy and they burn. Very simple concept. Very powerful unit that also requires protection and is easier to kill than the cannons. Next, so you need to babysit them and have a teammate playing with you. So if you play pre-made, one of you should have the cannon and flamethrowers, and the other should have pikes or something to protect them. Next we've got Imperial Archers, the only archers that are viable. And do understand that these units that are here are not for territory wars, they are only for ranked or siege. People usually don't play ranged units in territory wars except for the 2 special units. Because of the artillery spam, ranged units are useless. Basically you can use artillery instead of ranged units. And these two are special units, so you can use them. It's not really just a ranged unit. So basically MP archers for ranked or siege, you can use spam 2 and it does damage and you need to protect them. It has a lot of DPS if you know how to use them and protect them. So if you absolutely want to play archers, just play these guys, because the other archers are not good. As you can see, I don't even put Vessel Longbow in here because they do 0 damage. Next we've got Right Hand Marksman. It got nerfed, but it still gets the job done. Assuming you have the Poison Doctrine. If you don't have the Poison Doctrine, it's not a strong unit anymore because of the nerf. So basically you just press 1 and shoot at the enemy if you can, to increase your range and accuracy. Otherwise just press V and they will shoot whatever is closest to them and close to them. Next we've got Shenji. Just throw the bomb, you press 2 and throw the bomb. Still gets the job done if the enemy doesn't react, but most players will react, at least in Asia servers. So if you play on Asia, it's not really a powerful unit because people move their troops when you throw bombs at them. But if you play on EU server or NA, I guess you can get some kills with it. Just protect it with your hero and learn how to aim the bombs in the right positions. Also in Asia, heroes will usually dive these guys really quickly. So yeah, basically hit or miss unit depending if the enemy plays well or not. Next we've got the Crossbow Featherman. Thanks to the new doctrine that enables the crossbow to penetrate one additional target, these guys are okay if you have the doctrine. Just press 2 and they will do lots of damage. Finally you got the Zicalian Militia. It used to be a meta unit, but not anymore because most units have CC immunity, so its CC is not as powerful as it used to be due to its low damage. But you can still use it if you want and throw bombs at the enemy and they will burn and take a bit of damage. Same concept as Shenji but with less range, and that's it. So these are the units that are meta currently for the year 2025 in Conquerorsblade. Now I'm gonna show you some of the doctrines I have, so you can copy them if you'd like. So here I don't use this. Don't use this either. Here you need the paradox combat doctrine.
Long sleep with death.
So these dudes are top. These dudes are bottom. These dudes are bottom as well. You can use the phalanx doctrine if you prefer instead of some other doctrines like cavalry damage reduction. I also like putting blunt defense on my units because units have low blunt defense. As you can see, I mostly use blunt defense.
You should know me, my lord.
These guys are top. Top as well.
Yes, Commander.
Men at arms are top. And these two here. As for the doctrines, just use charge stuff and that 15% movement thingy. But dear surgeons, just use damage or blunt defense stuff and carry damage reduction. For Wu Wei you use this and top Veterancy.
As you command.
Upsurger's bottom.
We're unstoppable!
And you can use the toughness doctrine to make them viable, which is this one. Reduce damage by 33% on them instead of increase all defenses. Next the Simakian Paladins, you use them top, and I'm using these doctrines, but you can use other doctrines if you prefer, like the charge damage, charge target +1 instead of increase all defenses. I'm not, or this block thingy. The reason why I'm not using is because I put them on the Iron Cap Scouts, so I wonder if it's worth it. Mere Milan, you just need a quart cooldown reduction and you can put whatever you want. But the most important thing is the CC immunity, this one. And its top. Here just need these two, reduce advance cooldown and charge order. And stop. The pressure is top. And you put the same stuff, damage, blunt defense, HP, and carry damage reduction as you prefer. Next we've got the Spearman. I'm using this build. It's the bottom, I believe, yes. So it has it can survive against cavalry, which is useful. For example, companion cavalry dies to you if you use this build. In the 2 cover commander stance. I didn't put Galahad because these guys aren't really meta because of the death immunity doctrine. You cannot kill heroes, so there's no point. But if you want to use them, you can use them. I'm using this build for CC immunity. But you can use, instead of CC immunity, the Javelin doctrine that paralyzes units and heroes. I stop.
Yes, Commander.
So yeah, same stuff. Can use these for these guys.
Wipe them out.
Nice bottom. I didn't put this, but you can use it. But I don't find it very strong. It's just for killing heroes or something. Next Martellatory, you can use the Blood Leadership Reduction Doctrine. So it's 24-8 cost and some tanking runes. I'm using this for Village Watchmen as well. These two are just filler units that you can use. Next for Shenji, you can use this and add the Sprint Doctrine if you like. And it's bottom Veterancy. Now Bowmen, as you can see, I stopped using them. It's not powerful because it does so low damage. You can use them both and like this. Pure Archers are much better because they actually do damage, and I'm using this mixed bottom Veterancy and these Doctrines. Feathered Crossbowmen, just put the +1. Just use these Doctrines basically. I put it on them to try out the Chevalier, but unfortunately it's still not powerful. Right-hand marksman, you can use these. The Veterans is only one.
Not one step back.
This is for Chevalier, I'm using both. And Right-hand marksman top. Next we've got Chevalier. If you absolutely want to try them out, I'm testing this build. It may work. But it's not really meta currently. Next for Yan Yuda, you can use these. The sprint is especially important if you can get it for cavalry. Same thing here. And I'm using the top Veterancy, you can use the bottom if you prefer. I didn't find the bottom to do anything, except for playing Lotto. So the Veterancy is bot for these guys. Next Hussars, you can use these, and the bottom Veterancy. Daguerreotypes, same thing as Hussars, but instead of increased movement speed you use charge cooldown reduction. And it's top. Craig's Brothers just for killing PvE stuff. Top. Camel Lancers, you can use bottom. Or whatever, really, I don't really use them. And some tanky stuff, I guess. Let's try to survive against cavalry. The job is just to buy time by protecting a point or holding a point that you're capturing in territory. Finally, you got companion cavalry. Just bottom, and these are the doctrines I'm using. And finally, for handicap scouts, you can use this or add this sword cavalry doctrine, but you need sprint, which I don't have, so I need to take it. And it's top veterancy. So for now you put combat doctrine and lane roar. I assume it's the same thing. I don't have them, so I can't tell you what doctrines to put. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope this guide will be useful to you. And if you wanna team up, add me on Discord, BanryuTV, or post a comment, and I have characters on all the servers, so we can play together sometime in the future if you want. Like and subscribe and share this video, because it contains very useful information, so that the more people watch this, the more the players will play better, and the more we can have nice games where people actually know what they're doing. Alright, cheers. This is it for the guide, and I hope it helps you out in your Conquerorsblade adventure. See you in the next season for the season Sparta, and farewell.